everyone and welcome to another episode of Rift News, the show you decided to watch because you are probably getting confused by the entire Spirit Blossom event. Which is understandable. We thought we knew what the event was going to bring. But then, just like what Riot did with Odyssey, here Spirit Blossom is getting a lot more, and none of it was tested on PvE. Maybe besides Nexus Blitz. So there are a lot of new surprises to everyone. And so, because everything I'm going to talk about will be released today, I wanted to bring it to you as fast as possible. And so I am going without a script, I just turned on the microphone, and so let's get into the entire event. I separated this entire event into 3 categories. First, we are going to sum up all the things we knew were coming. Those are the normal things that we get with every event. Then we will talk about all the new things. Things that most likely nobody expected, but that are going to be really cool. And lastly, we are going to talk about some of the extra rewards, which we will be able to get through the event. So now, let's go through the main Spirit Blossom post. At the very beginning it reveals that the event will start on July 22nd, which is today, and it will last for an entire month, until August 24th. This is quite a long time, so even though, as you'll see, it might feel like there is a lot of content, which you may feel like you are being forced through, don't worry, there is enough time to do everything, so you can just chill out and take everything on your own pace. With that said, even though the event ends on the 24th, as always, all the tokens and everything you earned will be in your inventory until September the 8th, so you will have even more time to spend stuff. But now, since Lilia has been on PvE for a while now, on July 22nd, which is today, Lilia will be released on live servers as well. Next, of course, this is a League of Legends event, and so we are going to get a pass. But here you may notice that it says, earn more tokens from story missions with the Spirit Blossom event pass. Yes, you read it right, it is story missions. We'll talk about this later, but just remember that the entire Spirit Blossom event is canon. All the skins are canon, everything we are interacting with is canon here, and so this has a lot of value. But again, we'll talk about that later. Now, the Spirit Blossom pass itself is for 1650 RP, which is pretty standard these days. It comes with 200 Spirit Blossom tokens, which is also standard, and 4 orbs, because yes, everything needs randomized loot. But there is also the Spirit Blossom Pass bundle, for 2650 RP. This one gives you everything I just mentioned, plus Spirit Blossom Teemo with his skin on top of that, and even his special icon and border. Now here I need to mention that although the Spirit Blossom Pass will not give you some extra weekly missions, you will still be able to earn extra tokens with it, but through a different way. And this will tie to the story missions, which we will talk about in a second. Now, besides these mysterious story missions, of course, there will be also the normal missions. Or token missions, if you will. These just give you base tokens depending on what you're playing. Summoner's Rift will give you 5 or 10 tokens depending if you lose or win. ARAM gives you 6 or 3, and TFT gives you tokens depending on where you end the game. You get 2 points for every 2 spots. However, by far the best way to earn tokens will be Nexus Blitz. Nexus Blitz is guaranteed to be 20 minutes at most. That's when sudden death happens. And you get 6 tokens per win and 3 tokens per loss. Since these days Summoner's Rift is roughly around 30 to 40 minutes, it is still worth it to go Nexus Blitz instead. Next, the post mentions milestone missions for pass. Now, this may look new to you, because previously there was a mission and you would get a reward for that mission. But not here, and thank God. In fact, the system we see here is very similar to the milestone you get in TFT. We haven't seen the UI yet, because again, none of this was tested. But I do assume that there will be a new tab in the League client, and there you will see all the milestones, just like you do in TFT. And these are the rewards. If you want your 25 prestige points, all you need to do is to play until milestone 10. After that, besides all the essence, you get some extra emotes, there is a gemstone, then there is an orb and another gemstone. So nothing too crazy. But that's because we will get even more rewards from the story missions. And this is where we get into something Riot calls Spirit Bonds. And here is a direct quote from the post. They say the Spirit Blossom Festival represents a thinning of the veil between our world and the spirit realm. Keep your wits about you, cross over to the other side, and you would have to place your trust in the spirits there to guide you home. Some are playful, others conniving, but each has a story to tell for those who are willing to listen. Special missions have manifested for each of the Spirit Blossom champions, though there is more than one way to earn their favor. It's tricky business communing with the spirits, so be sure to check our full article on spirit bonds. Of course, we will have a look at that later. But just from the image here, you can see that the Spirit Blossom event actually has its own story. It's all about you, the players, going into the spirit realm. But in the Path animated trailer, we learned that once you are in the spirit realm, there are very limited ways to get out. And a lot of the spirits and demons are trying to lure you away from the path and claim your soul for their own. And so, in this event, we will talk to these spirits and we will try to get their favor, so they could help us get out. But once again, we will talk about this more in just a moment. First, to finish off this post, let me quickly mention that in this first wave, we are getting Spirit Blossom Teemo, Lilia, Vayne, Yasuo and Thresh. There are also massive festival bundles for 12,756 RP, which is quite a lot, that should contain everything. And if you already own the champions, the skins only cost 10,610 RP, which is still quite a lot. Of course, all of these champions will also get their own chromas. There are also sets with the champions' icons and boards, 3 emotes which you will earn exclusively through missions, and of course there are loot orbs, because every event needs orbs. These just give you a random skin shard, but every now and then it can also give you a grab bag. And these bags give you 6 skin shards. 3 of them will be superior quality, which means that they cost 975 RP or more, and 3 superior quality skins, which means that they cost 975 RP or less. And lastly, for all the tokens that you will be able to earn through this event, there is the Prestige Edition for Teemo, there are exclusive chromas for all the skins we just mentioned, you can also buy the icons and the borders separately for tokens, but then there are also the extra things like Little Legends eggs, random emotes, champion shards, keys, and stuff like that. So yeah, up until this point, this event sounds like your normal everyday event. But that's where you might be wrong, because the story missions change everything. And so let's jump into the other post that talks about them. The Spirit Blossom Festival brings with it the chance to forge new bonds and interact with champions channeling spirits beyond our world. Allow your relationship to flourish by earning the favor of these mystical champions. Engage in conversations and complete missions to allow your relationships to take root. As an outsider, the nouns of the festival and the world of spirits may seem overwhelming, but don't worry. We are here to be your spirit guides during this most magical event. I do agree the event can be a little bit confusing, but trust me, it will be worth it. On the eve of the Ionian festival, the veil between our world and the spirit realm is at its weakest. Cross over and you can talk to the spirits there. You must enlist their help to venture back into the world of the living, so be sure to talk to any spirits you see on the Spirit Bonds map. Be sure to click on their faces to begin your interaction. So yes, the first thing you do as you log into the Spirit Blossom event is that you pick your favorite champion and you click on their faces. That's how you start your story missions with them. Don't worry, there will be enough time for you to complete all the story missions with all the champions. That's why the event lasts an entire month, so you don't have to rush. However, this entire time there are dimensions of conversations and talking to the spirits. And you might be wondering, how will we be able to do that? Will there be special interactions in the game as you play as the champions? No, there will be something way better. Yes, Riot actually made their own version of a dating sim. Now, I have legitimately never played a dating sim, so I have no idea what to expect, but I've seen quite a few people playing them, especially the horrible ones. No, I mean the horrible ones. But yes, here is some info on what will be happening here. First of all, this quote-unquote dating sim was written by Riot's best writers. And the lead writer who is responsible for giving direction to all of this is the same person who wrote the lore for Fiddlesticks. Just a story. So here, from what we know, as I said, you will be able to do all the stories with all the champions. There is enough time for that. Also, there is no way to screw up your story. Yes, as you talk to your champions, if you say dumb things, they will respond accordingly. But as far as we know, there is no way to screw up your story and end it prematurely. You will go through the entire story anyway. However, there should be some secret endings depending on how you interact with your champions. From what I've heard, by clicking at all the champions at once and during their introduction missions first, By playing games after that, you can earn favor with all the champions at once. Although, I have to mention, nobody knows if there are any consequences to that yet. So if I were you, again because there is enough time to do everything, I would just pick 1 or 2 champions and do their missions separately. With that said, again, remember, the Spirit Blossom event is entirely canon. So the stories we will go through here will explain who the spirits are and what they do in the Ionian mythos. That's why these story missions will be actually interesting. It is not an alternative universe. All of this is happening in the Ionian legends. But we talked about this in the last video. If you're confused by this, I recommend watching that. Here is what the post says about this. You'll be given the opportunity to learn more about each champion through dialogue. The more you get to know them, the truth of these mysterious spirits' intentions will be revealed to you. The more favor you earn, the stronger your bond will become, and you'll unlock episodes to progress a champion's story. So as I said, as you do missions for specific champions, their story will go forward. What I should also mention is that these champions should have very specific missions. For example, because Thresh is the demon of obsession, and he is collecting souls. If you wanna get some favor with him, you will be probably killing a lot of champions or minions to gather souls. So from what I understand, specific champions should have different missions depending on their personality. So yes, remember, Teemo is a trickster and a prankster, so I hope his missions won't be toxic. Anyway, then the post says, you can earn favor in multiple ways, and while most can be earned by winning and losing in match-made games, you can also earn favor by completing certain tasks to impress the champions you wish to develop deeper bonds with, as well as playing in the revamped Nexus Blitz. And here the post even has a little note that says that if you wanna earn favor with the champions, you need to talk to them first. That's why the first thing you do when you log into the Spirit Blossom event is click on a couple of the champions, so you can start earning favor with them as soon as possible. But then the post explains how you gain favor. You can play as any champion and still earn favor with any of the spirits that you begun interacting with. You'll build your bonds with both wins and losses, as the spirits value all experiences mortals may endure. Consider playing as a specific Spirit Blossom champion to increase the missions you can complete simultaneously, such as winning a game in Summoner's Rift as Spirit Blossom Ahri. In the next part you'll see what the post just mentioned. Specific champions with their specific skins can give you extra favor if you do specific things with them. More on that in just a second. I just quickly want to mention that winning in Summoner's Rift, ARAM or Nexus Blitz will give you 2 favor points, losing in any of these will give you 1 favor point, being 5th or lower in TFT will give you 2 points, and being 4th or higher in TFT will give you 4 points. But as I mentioned, here are some of the specific ways to gain extra favor. If you play as a champion with their Spirit Blossom skin in Summoner's Rift or Nexus Blitz, you get 3 extra favor for that champion. If you play as any of the champions that are in the Spirit Blossom event, but you don't use the Spirit Blossom event skin, you get 1 extra favor. If you play as any of the champions with their skins in ARAM, you get whopping 6 extra favor. And that's because ARAM is randomized, so the chances of you landing on a champion for which you actually own the very specific skin are quite low. And playing as a champion without the skin in ARAM gives you 2 extra favor. But that's still not it. As I mentioned, these spirits have very different personalities, and so as you play different game modes, the spirits may want you to do different things. Here, from what I understand, you don't have to play the specific champions in order to achieve these goals. You just need to do these things on specific maps. For example, in order to gain 10 favor with Thresh, you need to ground control someone more than 35 times. For Riven, you get more favor the more multi-kills you get each game. For Vayne, you get favor by just getting more kills. Teemo gets extra favor for more than 35 vision score. Cassiopeia gains favor for simply dealing damage. Lilia gets 5 extra favor for at least 15 takedowns, which I'm not sure if it actually corresponds with her personality. With Ahri, if you manage to never die in Summoner's Rift or ARAM, you get 8 extra favor, with 3, 2 or 1 favor points, depending on how many times you died. With Yasuo, you gain favor by getting kill streaks, and Kindred gets favor by killing epic monsters. But on Nexus Blitz there are even more ways to gain favor. For each of these extra objectives you will get 3 favor points. Thresh will get points for winning Push the Cart event, Riven gets points for prize fight, Vayne has King of the Hill, Teemo is Loot Goblin, which is the one where you kill Veigar or Teemo, Cassiopeia gets favor for DPS race, Lilia gets 1 for protecting Soraka, Ahri gets 1 for Earth Deathmatch, Yasuo gets 1 for Brandle Royale, and Kindred comes from Scuttle Racing. So it is just extra points for winning these events. But now you may be wondering, why should I really care about Favor? Is it just because of the story? What if I don't care about the story? Well, there are even more rewards. Your relationship with a spirit is ranked by letters. Rank C requires 25 favor, B requires 50, A requires 75, and S requires 100 favor. And each of these milestones unlocks special rewards. C gives you champion shard, B gives you 15 tokens, A gives you champion icon that is unique to the champions you gain favor with. So I recommend doing all the champions so you can earn all the icons. And S rank gives you 15 more tokens. However, that's not it. The moment you get an S rank with a champion, you will get special progress tied to the spirit tree. That's why if you look at the UI, you can see the spirit tree icon in the top right. This magical entity will give you spirit petals for each S rank you get. And if you give your S rank champion the spirit petals back, it is a symbol of unbreakable bond. So in return, they will give you a unique emote which you will not be able to get any other way. However, here's the catch. The system is designed in such a way so that you will never be able to earn every emote of every champion. So you should be careful what champion you pick. So here is how that works. The spirit petals are supposed to be very rare and meaningful. And so you will simply not have enough to give it to every champion. Once you get an S rank with a champion, you can earn spirit petals just by doing what you've been doing to this point. Winning and losing games. You get 2 points for winning, 1 point for losing, with 2 extra petals for playing a champion with the skin, and 1 extra petal for playing just as a champion. Now, once you reach 50 petals, you'll be able to get 1 emote from 1 champion. At 110 petals, you will get a second gift for a second champion. At 180 petals, you will get a third gift for a third champion. And that is the normal cap. Normally, if you play for free and you don't buy any passes, just by playing the event, you can get 3 of the unique emotes from any of the champions. However, if you buy the premium pass, you can progress to 250 petals and then to 320 petals. So if you buy the pass, you can get 2 extra emotes. And considering there is going to be at least 9 champions with their special emotes, you will just have to accept you can't get everything. Which is great, because uniqueness breeds desires. And design-wise, it is actually not a bad idea to make sure not everyone can get everything. But that's pretty much all the special mechanics this event will have. It may sound a little bit confusing, but to be honest, it is really cool. Then there is the epilogue of the post. Once you fostered an S-rank unbreakable bond with a champion, you may be able to journey back to the mortal realm, with your newly forged memories to bolster you. But like every good fable, the end is really only the beginning. If you achieve an even higher rank, don't be surprised if your new companions stop by to bid you a safe journey for whatever adventure awaits. These final interactions will occur during Spirit Blossom's conclusion at the end of the event. So what this tells you is that if you earn favor with some of the champions beyond S rank, there will be some unique story endings at the end. And I wonder if those will be tied to Yone. But since the Spirit Blossom event is massive, that is still not it. Next, we quickly need to talk about the new lore revealed around the Spirit Blossom event. In the post where Riot explained how they came up with the entire idea for the event, there is a tiny bit that pulls out the demonic chart, which we have seen when Fiddlesticks was released. Here Riot explains that the story of Ionia is not done yet. And in fact, after the Noxian invasion, there are a lot of Ionians dead in their land without being properly buried, which is a breeding ground for new demons to come. Especially the Azakana, which is a word we have previously seen on the demonic chart. But here we get an explanation as to what these are. Azakana are sort of parasitic minor demons, as they are not fully demonic entities like Evelyn or Fiddlesticks. They hone in a single person, or spirit's fear or shortcoming, and just absorb the negative emotions until they kill the host. Then they become a full demon, or move onto another host that has more rich flavor, so to speak. It's kind of this horror undertone for this whole festival. The Azakana are growing in numbers. And there's a chance that in the very near future, Ionia will be overrun with demons. No one outside of the Kinko Order is dealing with them. If only there was someone who would. Of course, I do believe that this is a reference to Yone. In the last video, we wondered how will they bring him back. and I wasn't even sure if there was a way. But I do believe that the Azakana will be the answer. As was explained here, the Azakana are minor demons who feast on the emotions of their hosts. And once they absorb enough emotions, they can then turn into a proper demon. I think this may be happening with Yone. It is possible that he was possessed by an Azakana. And as that minor demon sucked his hatred and doubt towards Yasuo, it is possible that the Azakana turned into a full demon while attached to Yone. And that's why Yone looks a bit corrupted and demonic. It's because he was revived with the power of the Azakana. But only time will tell if that's actually the truth. For the last part of this video, we need to talk about all the things that appeared on PBE. Because yes, the things we've seen is only the first half of the Spirit Blossom event. The second half has even more skins. There is the legendary Spirit Blossom Ahri, which is the counterpart to Thresh. The cool thing about this skin is that it is obviously a legendary skin. The animations are amazing, and she turns into a fox when she ults. Then there is Cassiopeia, there is also Kindred, and Riven. I will probably make a separate video talking about all of their legends, because remember, all of these skins are actually canon. But besides these, here we can also see the icons that I've talked about before. You get these by getting an A rank with their story. But on top of that, we are getting 6 new little legends. These are upgraded models of some of the most popular little legends. They each come from a different set. In the first set, the most popular one was Pengu, and so we are getting Samurai Pengu, or Feather Knight actually. In the second one, people liked Hushtail the most, and so we are getting Ionian Hushtail. And in the True Damage one, people liked Melisma, and so we are getting a tiny version of him with a horn. Lastly, 2 random icons appeared on PBE. One is called BRG, and the other one is called Psyops. And I do believe that these two are a new teaser for the next skin line. Now, before I end this video, I should also mention that the Spirit Blossom event is also translating into other games. Legends of Runeterra, for example, is getting a lot of new Spirit Blossom content. It got its own new pass, and if you buy it, you will get a new Guardian. But the pass itself gives you a lot of new stuff. There are 3 new Guardians, with the extra Guardian for buying it. There are 4 new card backs, 5 new emotes, and a lot of shards for getting free cards. If you don't wanna pay anything, if you wanna play for free, you still get 2 free emotes, a lot of free shards, 1 free card back, and even some special event icons. On top of this, Riot is sprinkling in some Spirit Blossom Labs, which are the special new thematic game modes. And if that's not enough, separately you can get new Spirit Blossom boards. And these look absolutely amazing. If you want more information on this entire Spirit Blossom event in Legends of Runeterra, Riot released a separate video giving you all the information you need. And lastly, Spirit Blossom is also arriving to Valorant. Now, we don't have any official info on this, but it was data mined in the files. All of these are themed around demons, and your melee weapon is even a mask of a demon. Honestly, they look absolutely amazing. If only the pricing was a bit more casual player friendly. But that's going to be it for this special episode of Rift News. It turns out the Spirit Blossom event is way bigger than we expected. And I love the fact that Riot did not drop all of this onto PBE. Most of the fun stuff is going straight to live servers, just like what Riot did with the Odyssey event. And honestly, that's why I always loved the Odyssey event the most. It was a new thing to absolutely everybody. Even though there are bugs at the beginning, it was totally worth the surprise. And I am very happy that Riot is bringing this feeling back. So now I will go back to the lore, because not only did I almost finish the story of Rakan and Xayah before the event dropped, but now we need to get back onto the demonic theories. Now it makes sense why this parchment was found in Phalor, in Ionia. It's because Noxians were trying to figure out how the demons work in Ionia. And so, let the theory crafting begin. Again, I'm just surprised that the person who wrote this also wrote these. But then again, this guy is coming back, so there is nothing Fiddlesticks can surprise me with.